Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with VAE Live Media, and this session is with Light and Love. And I have with me today, my name is Do Nguyen, and I have with me today is Kelly, who's visiting from San Antonio, and we strike up a number of conversations on spirituality. And in the spirits of Halloween, so we'll do another session on related with spirits. So if I'll leave you to introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I'm Kelly, and I am interested in all things parapsychological and having to do with spirits and all that good fun stuff. This is amazing. This is the first time that I've met someone who is, would you call yourself an exorcist?
No.
Okay, he's not an exorcist.
Yeah, it's in a way I'm doing, but I don't like that term.
Right.
Okay. So.
In all seriousness, Mr. To, you've had.
Just call me Do.
Yeah. Okay, Do. You've had experiences with spirits.
Oh yes, for pretty much almost all of my life.
Okay.
Right? So, but I want to include our audience is that today with meeting up, we're striking up conversation with Kelly, and we talk about a number of different topics. We go anywhere when we're talking about a lot of love. We're talking about a lot of manifestation. We're talking about spirits, and Kelly here suggests that in the spirit of Halloween, we will focus on spirit influence. Yes. But what I'll do is I'll leave to you as far as whatever questions that may be coming through that interest you, because sure. I'm sure many of that same questions may be similar to the audience here at VAE Live Media.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people might wonder what is a spirit to you? What does it mean to you?
To me, like for many of them that I've seen or interact with, they're just like us. Okay. They still carry very similar all of the characteristics or personalities of on Earth here. Certainly, they are nice, developed, well developed. That some people call it angels and sage and all that. And then others are quite ordinary, and there are some who are a bit more evil in a way that we call evil, that doing bad things to people, no different here than on Earth here. Okay.
And have you heard of spiritual possession or spirit possession?
Yes. And I've done a few cases where there are spirits that attach to people. Okay. There are some who reside within their field of energy, and certainly those when you have spirits that reside within a person's energy field, they can influence a person's thought and feeling, and the person will not be able to distinguish or discern the difference between what is theirs and what is not there anymore, because it's very subtle when they, let's say, walk in or cloak or actually now reside in for so long that the personality development between the spirit and the person really become one, and it in some cases where it help a person like do psychic things or reading with people, and there are other cases where less developed spirits, it actually interfere with the health and life of people who are still here on Earth.
Well, that's not good. So you said that you had some cases. Can you tell us, maybe with changing some names or places, some kind of case that you found to be interesting?
Yes, let's see here, for example, where there's The most recent example was I met somebody, and I've never met him before, and there are some spirits in her, and she's an older lady, right? And it turned out there are a total of 4 spirits that are in her, and her life was quite messed up for where she was like molested and incest and all. So it's all these things. And so when I call up those spirits and talk to them, they basically saying, yeah, they're just naughty in a way that, and they said very well. I said we want to harm her. Wow. It's more like a game to them, and I explained to them that this is harming her in a way with her physical life here on earth, but in return they are also harming themselves, and how they are harming themselves, how it's affect them as a spirit, and I can tell them, like, if they would only look at their own energy form, they can see that it's been changing, darker, heavier, and these are the form at some point that they're going to have to go through to expedite. And so after suggesting, explaining to them as far as what they are doing is not the right thing to do, but you also draw out their love within them, because there's always love with them. Just like a baby born, the only thing it knows is it's like blank paper, right?
So the love within the spirits themselves.
Yeah, it's just being dormant. You have to draw that energy out in them, and once they feel that, they're going to feel that it's not the right thing to do. It's what we term conscience. Like I always say that conscience is of the soul. When we do something wrong, that feeling that we feel, and we call it our consciousness now acting on us. But in reality, it is the collision between the energy that is negative or that create disharmony. It is colliding with the energy that is emanating, that is harmonizing from the soul, which is love, and that create that feeling. And so we call it conscience, but in reality, that is what's going on. And we feel that, and therefore, but sometimes it's not, I don't care. And when people say that and they go on and act out, in the beginning they may feel, the next time it becomes easier, they feel less and less and less. Because that energy becomes thicker and thicker, and it suppresses the energy of the soul.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have spirits in the spiritual world, and if you believe, we are a spirit as well.
We are a spirit. Now, spirit world, there are spirit worlds, but we're talking about earthbound spirits, okay? Spirits that have not left the earth realm, and so we call them earthbound spirits. And many of them, there are many of them here on this earth, and I would say every single one of us will be influenced at least one time or more, and there are people who actually have these spirits within them. Some have one, some have a few. Just recently, I think a week ago, I was contacted by somebody I've never met before, and I still haven't met him yet. But she can see spirits, and so she's asking for my help in order to help a client of her. And together we worked together, and sure enough, there was a spirit that was in that lady. So I'm here in Texas, and that now we're friends now. So she's in California, and the client in Florida. So we work remotely using phone to contact. But it turned out that yes, there was a spirit, and I talked to the spirit, and I pulled them out, so that we can talk to them, and I explained to them. And after that, they agreed to leave, and so they left. And I call in the spirit helpers, and I call them spirit helpers. And they always came. They came, and therefore they took these spirits away into the spirit realm. And I keep telling them, the spirit realm depends on the development. If the desire is to develop, then they'll get to develop in love.
Okay, great. Developing in love. And can you elaborate? We talk about love a lot, I think, in the world. My opinion, I think love is the answer to a lot of the world's problems. But you know of the spiritual side of love as well.
Yeah, I mean, in love, the language that we use, so we use the word love to describe something that is desire, something that when we think of love, we think of unity, we think of harmony, we think of sharing, we think of giving, we think of forgiving, right? Mm-hmm. Forgiving. Mm-hmm. We think of all these things that really pull people together. And that describes it. But there are actually other forms of love. Everything is energy, right? And even love itself. And so when people think that they are opposite of love. No, there is no opposite to love. There's only disharmony. Mm-hmm. And so when people walk away from love or do things that is not of love, it creates disharmony. It creates disparity. It creates division, and from there it creates many other different emotions, if you and this affect people's life. You can see when you look at people, you can see some people are alienated. I don't want to, like people say, like, I don't feel like being with a crowd. I can't stand being in a crowd. That is when the energy is withdrawn, and I normally say, like, you can only give what you have, right? And so what you have right now is disharmony. You can only give disharmony. Even if a person is fake it with nice words and gift of things, eventually that will show, that will come out.
I think some of the viewers might be interested in things that they could do, maybe to, if it's possible, to shield themselves or protect themselves from bad spirits, or develop themselves so there are ways that they can be strong. Is that something that can be done?
Oh yes, yeah, for sure. And I don't want to go like reference religion, but I
Sure.
want to reference Jesus in this way. When Jesus said, I am the truth, the way, and the life. Truth and light are one and the same. Light is information, but the light that represents various forms, if you will, and it packed with information which represent, I call laws, right? Laws that govern the physical world and laws that govern the spirits. And when he said that I am the truth, that means he has a light, and the way, and life, meaning that he lived the way that is his life, represent manifesting words and actions that are following the truth, which is, well, when we read it, he said, it is the will of the Father. So he's doing the will of the Father, and the will of the Father is to restore love and harmony. Mm-hmm. And so he lived with that truth every day, and that's why he said, I am the truth, meaning look at me and I am representing truth, meaning that everything he said, everything he did was about truth, and that's why he called the way and the life. And by doing that, when you do something that is along with the laws, your soul light is like, and I think in my previous talk, I referenced more like a seed. The seed has all the potential to grow, to bloom, to give beautiful flowers, to give beautiful fruits. So it has all these potential in the seed, but it needs to be nurtured. It needs to, like I said in one of the parables, when it said, if it put in good soil, it will grow. So similar to our soul, it has all these potentials in there, and it needs light, and it needs light to open up and to grow and to develop these beautiful gifts. And every single one of us has all of these potential that are locked and dormant within our soul. It's like a seed. And these lights will eventually, if we develop correctly, and within the law of love, our spiritual energy will grow. And there will not be any cracks or holes or anything in our spiritual field. We call aura, our auric field. And when we don't have it, nothing negative can penetrate. And I'm a testament to that, okay? Because I actually experience it. And when the first time I experienced it, it was very surprised to me. I didn't know that I have this field until that spirit came and it bounced right back out. And that's when I saw the field energy, and I said, oh, I have some. And they're trying to find a location in order to penetrate, right? And it's unable to do it.
Wow. So you worked with someone who could see a spirit, and they lived far away from you.
Yes.
Right? And I think it's always fascinating how these things can work outside of time and space. Yes, it is. But you don't seem to be surprised.
No, because it's like there is no time and space that separate things. If you think of it like, if you give the analogies like this, if you have a pond, and if you disturb that pond, the ripple will eventually just cross all the pond, right? In our mind, when you doubt, it becomes a blockage. When you don't doubt, your thought can move. You move right there. You are there with that person, and you have that ability to impact that person. And this is now people who practice voodoos or sorcery or evil, they understand this concept as well. And this is how they use in order to harm a person. But they can harm a person that of a lower energy level than they are, but they will have a hard time to do that of people who are of the same or higher than they are. It's impossible.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. So a person should want to develop their spiritual energy to raise it in order to protect themselves from harmful spiritual energies.
Yeah, when we think negative things, we create dark form of energy within our aura, and the energy vibrates, right? Every energy has a frequency, have a wavelength, and has a vibration, and it vibrates through space of Earth, and other earthbound spirits will recognize it and attracted to it. So because like attracts like, if you will. And so they know, and if they want to influence a person of that energy, that's what they will do. They will wait for that opportunity. It's like most people living on this in society here. You can be happy at one point, and when you interact with life, and if whatever it is in a situation that trigger you, then you're gonna feel all these things, and that energy is starting to be like triggered and activated, dominate in that moment of that person's life, and is in their auric field. They'll just glow in that form. They emanate out that energy. It's just and those are the time when other spirits can now inject, influence, or even move in and walk in and stay within that person.
Okay. And when that happens, it's either a spiritual possession or it's an influence, and that's where we call you, right, to come and try to help out.
Yeah, I've been doing on and off for a little while now, and I see so much of it in this life, and it's how it affects people. And I don't look at spirits, earthbound spirits, that are bad or evil in a way. It's just that many of them really don't understand it either. They don't understand about how to move on. And it's not about mental understanding. It's not about intellectual understanding. It's about the energy developed the conditional development that will open their spiritual eyes to see and feel. And therefore, when that desire take place, that are happening in their lives at that moment as a spirits, then they can call for help. And when they call for help, spirit helpers will come. And that's when they will be guided.
Wonderful.
Okay.
That is amazing. So are there any other things that you would like to share today for the viewers?
There's a lot. When we're talking about spiritual and life as ourselves, there are so many topics, right? And we can do that on the next episode. So I think we'll stop here for now. Okay. And we will return with the next episode. So I want to thank you, Kelly, and and I want to thank you, the audience of VAE Live Media, and I want to take this opportunity to also thank VAE Live Media and Goimi and Angelina, one and the same, that is, for this opportunity to bring these type of topics to you. And I want to thank you for listening and spending time here with me and Kelly today on this topic. Thank you.
Thanks to our production staff at VAE Live Media, voice of art and entertainment. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.